ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीराम जय जय राम। 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 जय जय राम। जय जय राम। ॐ रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। ॐ श्रीरामचन्द्राय नमः। अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। ॐ श्रीहनुमते नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्रीचिन्मयसद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमः श्रीतुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन रामप्रेमामृतेन मे। ॐ श्रीतुलसीदासाय नमः। Hari Om, a very warm welcome. The love of Sita ji towards Ramchandra ji is so deep, is so intense, and at the same time, remember, with all that maryada, her love was very deep. Others did not know. Now, when that Sakhi told her, please do namaskaram to her, touch his feet, she did not. Why? The fear that she will be sent away, because the example was Ahalyaji. We saw yesterday in the conclusion. And we also saw how Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra ji, of course he is Antaryami, isn't it? He is there in all of our hearts. Why will he not be there in Sita ji's heart? Therefore, he could recognize. What is that? The transcendent love, as it may be called. A love which is par everything, par excellence. That was Sita ji. Ramchandra ji laughed loudly inwardly. Inside his heart, he laughed loudly. Now see, I want you to concentrate on this very important symbolism in Sita Swayamvara. Now please be very attentive, very important. It may appear simple, but after listening, when you look at yourself, each one of us, when we look at ourselves, we will find we do have certain qualities which is not conducive to our sadhana. How? We will see. Now the symbolism in Sita Swayamvara is so important, so pregnant with lot of value systems, lot of knowledge. We will see. Earlier we had seen what? Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji is Paramatma, isn't it? The Supreme Being. And Sita ji is who? Adi Shakti. So Paramatma and Adi Shakti, they alone can come together. There cannot be a choice. There cannot be anything different. So when Rama is Paramatma and Sita ji is Adi Shakti, only Paramatma and Adi Shakti can come together. Therefore, others don't stand a chance. This is very clear. We have seen this several times. Now come to the next symbolism. Bhagavan Ramchandra ji is Jnana Swarupa, embodiment of knowledge. And Sita ji is what? Bhakti Swarupa. When Sita ji is Bhakti Swarupa, Bhakti can only be towards God. Think. What is the nature of Bhakti? Bhakti is complete surrender, complete total love towards that supreme goal alone, Bhagavan alone. All other things other than Bhagavan. Love towards Bhagavan is Bhakti, but love towards Vishaya, Vishaya Sakti we call. It is what? It is love, but it cannot be called as Bhakti. It is infatuation. It is passion. It is lust. And therefore, what that particular things other than Bhagavan, things or even beings, majorly beings also, things or beings, what result they can give, that alone they can give. They cannot give that supreme, isn't it? What is the result they can give? Ephemeral things and ephemeral beings can only give ephemeral result. What is ephemeral? That which is impermanent, that which comes and goes. Agama apayinaha anityaha. This is what all the anitya vastu can give. But if we are looking for nitya ananda, then where do we have to find it? We have to find only in Bhagavan only. That supreme ananda, eternal ananda, what we are looking forward, can only come from Bhagavan, and to gain that one must have devotion, and Sita ji represents devotion. Devotion alone can give the knowledge of the supreme and the experience thereof. Think. Therefore, when Ramchandra ji is knowledge, Sita ji is bhakti, and bhakti alone can bring knowledge. Think. Therefore, bhakti cannot be separated from knowledge. Knowledge cannot be separated from bhakti. This is another very interesting point. Bhakti without knowledge is only fanatic sentimentalism and more of, crying, etc., etc., etc. Bhakti without knowledge. Knowledge without bhakti is dry. It is not, it will not give that joy. Therefore, combination of bhakti and knowledge put together, what we get is called Anandam. Think. Therefore, Sita and Ramchandraji alone can come together. Right? Second one. Third one. Ramchandraji is Ananda Swarupaha. We have discussed this. I am bringing it back again because the next part of it is very much associated with this. Ramchandraji is Ananda Swarupa and Sita ji is what? Shanti Swarupa. Now look at that. Ananda Swarupa, Shanti Swarupa. Shanti comes only through Ananda. Ananda comes only when there is Shanti. These are again inseparable. What is that Ananda we want? We want an Ananda which is eternal, everlasting, never-ending, total, uncontaminated, pure, complete. Isn't it? That Ananda with these features is not possible with the ephemeral aspects of life. Think. And therefore, when we run behind the ephemeral aspects of life, things and being, Vishaya, then there might be, what do you call it as, pleasure occasionally, isn't it? But there cannot be Ananda. And Ananda alone can bring Shanti. And Ananda of the Bhagavan alone can bring Shanti. Pleasure with reference to things and beings can only bring Ashanti. Now see, please be very attentive. There is Ananda and there is this Shanti. What is Ananda? Ananda is that sense of completeness. Shanti is also a sense of completeness. Shanti born out of Ananda is eternal. Ananda born along with Shanti is eternal. The Ananda what we are talking is not pleasure. Please be very clear. Pleasure is not eternal. They are ephemeral. In fact, even by the time you enjoy, before you analyze, when you start thinking, oh, this is beautiful, it has gone. That flimsy are Vishayananda. The pleasure born out of things and beings. Why? Remember, they are eternal. They are not eternal. They are ephemeral. Therefore, they can give only ephemeral Ananda. This peace, Shanti, is something which has nothing to do with the Vishayasakti. Vishayasakti are irrelevant for Shanti. And this Shanti comes only with Ananda, and Ananda is Bhagavan Swarupa. Now think. When Ramchandraji is Ananda Swarupa, Sitaji is Shanti Swarupa, none of the Vishayas can come in between. Anywhere a Vishaya comes, then there is disturbance. We will see later when Sitaji gets attracted to that golden deer. Right? So when Ramchandraji is Ananda Swarupa, Sitaji is Shanti Swarupa, Ananda alone can bring Shanti, Shanti alone can bring Ananda. Therefore, Ananda and Shanti are inseparable. Think. Now you understand why Ramchandraji alone can get married with Sitaji. More are there, we will see now. Very beautiful, the symbolism is very beautiful. Now, the next way of looking. See, these are all angles of looking, symbolism, remember. But when we see only Rama as a one entity and Sita as one entity, then there's nothing we can learn. Think. The next relevance is Sita ji is compared to Mukti Rupa. Sita ji is compared to Mukti Swarupa, we may say. And who can get Mukti? Please note. The one who is bound alone can get liberated. For Bhagavan, for Atma, there is no liberation. Why? There is no bondage. Bondage is a eligibility for liberation. Think. Liberation is not there to Ananda Swarupa because Ananda is eternally, Atma Swarupa is eternally liberated. Meaning what? There is no bondage, there is no liberation. All of us are trying for that liberation because we are bound. And you will also see, Sita ji was in a manner of saying bound. Remember, Sita ji's bondage is different. Our bondage is different. Immediately don't bring Sita ji to our level, please. Sita ji was bound only to Bhagavan. 1. 2. She had that small, as incidents of going behind the deer. Isn't it? That we will see more in detail, we will see. Now, Sita ji is Mukti Swarupa. Who can gain Mukti? Only the one who break the bondage can get Mukti. And Ramchandra ji broke the bondage of samsara. Through what? Breaking away the bow. Think. And what is a chapa? Chapa, the bow. What is that? It is a representation of Bhava Chapa. It is a bow of Bhava. What is Bhava? Samsara. Bhava, another meaning is Shiva. We are not talking of Shiva now here. The symbolism must be understood clearly. We should not misrepresent. Here, Chapa is represented to is a representative of Bhava. That is Samsara. Samsara is what? Bhava Bandhana. Bhava Bandhana has to be broken. Only then Mukti is possible. Therefore, from this sadhaka standpoint, he has to break open all his bandhana. That is why, relationship, very beautiful word. Think about it. Relationship has two and more. Right? Relationship, I am related to this. I am related to him. I am related to her. I am related to that. This, etc. All, that is why we call, what do we call all of them? Relatives. When we say relatives, by default it means it is not absolute. And what are we looking forward to? The absolute. Therefore, the bondage of relationship with things and beings. You may also add pets if you want. The bondage of relationship between things, beings, etc. must be broken if we want peace. Otherwise, we will definitely be in pieces. Why? Relationships are many. Innumerable. Isn't it? So many relationship we have. Some people have got relationship with husband or wife or children, grandparents. Some people have got relationship with one shell, mic, clock, pets, of course, obviously. Some people are related to one pillow. They cannot sleep without a pillow. Think. These are all petty examples. But how much we have loaded ourselves with the baggage of relationships, because of which we are unable to be happy, because of which we are unable to enjoy that ananda. Think. Therefore, if we have to reach mukti, if we have to gain that liberation, bondage has to be broken. Therefore, bhavachapa has to be broken for gaining liberation. Think. And who can break this bhavachapa? Naturally, knowledge alone can break bondage. Now, when we see Ramchandraji as Jnana Swarupa, Jnanam brings clarity of what is permanent, what is real. This is what we call as Tattva. What is Tattva? You know, in the sadhana, Viveka, Vairagya, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti and Mumukshutvam. Shatka Sampatti are 6. Many times we have discussed. Anyway, for new people or the people who have not understood. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. 6. A group of 6. Okay? Now, what is Nitya Vastu? What is Viveka? Viveka is Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. Viveka means discrimination. Discrimination between what? Nitya and Anitya Vastu. So a sadhaka must have viveka, an ability to discriminate between right and wrong, eternal and ephemeral, real and false. This entire world, because it does not come to my experience all the time, it cannot be called truth. Why truth? Satyam is what? Yat trikala abhadita vastu. Trikaleshu tishtati. Tat satyam. What is real is that which is there in all periods of time, in all 3 states of experiences. Past, present and future. 3 periods of time. And 3 states of experiences. What is that? Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Waking, dream and deep sleep state. That which is there in all the 3, that alone is truth. The ability to discriminate everything and find out whether it is true or false, whether it is eternal or ephemeral. This capacity is called discrimination. The truth alone is permanent. Mithya, the false, is not permanent. And what is Satyam? What is Mithya? Satyam must be Bhagavan, because Bhagavan is eternal. Mithya, everything other than Bhagavan is Mithya. Now this is a sadhaka's first step of understanding. We will go to another extent. What is the other extreme? Extreme is nothing is impermanent. Everything is Brahman only. And that Brahman I am. That is ultimate state. Now we are not in that state. Now we have to understand from the experiential standpoint. From the experience we find everything other than Bhagavan is ephemeral. Think. Viveka. Vairagya. If I now want only the permanent Ananda, I should have the ability to let go. You don't have to have aversion towards it. You must have the ability to let go of the others, and that letting go, not aversion. The let go aspect is called detachment. Shankara says, this also I have quoted several times. Balastavat krida saktaha, tarunastavat taruni saktaha, vriddhastavat chinta saktaha, parame brahmani kopina magna. Now, balastavat krida saktaha does not remain when you are old age in vriddhashrama. Exception sustained. There are some people. changes. Now see, when there is change, our attitude changes, our behavior changes, our desire changes, our attachment changes. And during that change, that ability to let go is Vairagyam. Think. Then we have Shamadi Shatka Sampatti. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. Shama, control of the mind. These are all very, very important for our discussion. I am not digressing. Please be very attentive. Shama is what? Control of the mind. Instead of control of the mind, can we use the word mastering the mind? Control is always looked at negatively. So we will put it positively. Mastering the mind. Dhamma. Shama. Then what is Dhamma? Mastering the senses. Mastering the senses means what? I have the command on my own senses. Think. One very simple example I will give you. In your house there is a servant maid. In very many houses, that's why I am saying very many houses. Very many houses, actual commander is the servant. The owner who has appointed the servant to work in the house obeys the servant's demands. Think. Then who is the owner? Who is the commander? Who is the Lord? Think. This is where we are now. Our senses, sense organs, everything is a slave to the mind. Think. Therefore, to gain mastery over the mind and command the mind what it has to think, what it should not think, that which is irrelevant, that which is not required. Why not required? Because my goal is different. Think. If my goal is to become a doctor, then science becomes inevitable. Is it not? My goal is Ananda. When my goal is Ananda, the ephemeral matters does not come into picture at all. So when I master the mind, I also master the senses. When I become the master, then the mind, the senses, the organs, all of them quietly obey. Think. This is Shama, Dhamma. Uparama, that controlled mind and senses is well restrained. Think. Is well collected, composed. I am at poise. Uparama. Next one is what? Titiksha. What is titiksha? Sahanam sarva dukkhanam pratikara purvakam chinta vilapalahitam sa titiksha nigadyate. Titiksha is forbearance, endurance. This forbearance and endurance, why should it come now? I am already controlled everything. But whatever comes, whatever may give some pain, some suffering, some frustration, some friction, I accept everything without disturbance. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam, without reacting. Chinta vilapalahitam, meaning what? I don't go on lamenting with others. You know what happened to me? This should not have happened. She should not have said that. He should not have done that. This could not have happened. Oh, we go and tell every Tom, Dick and Harry around available, even though they don't want to be with you. Chinta vilapalahitam. Don't go on thinking about it also. Now see, Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha. Then Shraddha, most important. If this is very strong, Shraddha is very strong, it will help in getting out of all these things. What is Shraddha? Shastreshu, Guru Vakyeshu, Satya Buddhi Avadharana. Whatever the Shastras say, whatever the Guru teaches, it has truth in it. I unquestioningly, with unswerving faith, I just obey. Think Shraddha. And for the last one, sixth one in the sixth pack is what? The sixth pack has got different meaning also. In this particular sixth pack of Shamadhi Shakka Sampatti, the last one is Samadhanam. What is Samadhanam? Being quiet, keeping the mind at pause. When the mind is at pause, then you will find the mind has got the ability to look at things differently with clarity. Quieter the mind, sharper the intellect. Gurudev often roars from his platform. Quieter the mind, sharper the intellect. Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. And the last one is Mumukshutvam among the four. Sadhana Chatushtaya. What is Mumukshutvam? The Mumukshutvam is Moksho me bhuyatiti ichha. Mumukshutvam. What is I want only liberation. I just don't want anything else. Very beautiful example is given. If a person is taken and pushed into the water in a pond and held inside, and then ask him, he is inside the pond, ask him, would you like to have a lakh of rupees I would like to give you? Think. He will not want that 1 lakh of rupees. He's dying. He's unable to breathe. At that particular moment when you are in the pond, what is it that you ask for? You just want breath. If you die there, what is the use of 1 lakh of rupees or gold or diamond or acres of land? What is the use? Nothing is useful if life is not there. That desperate moment inside the pond, when you are held tight there, you are not released, you are gasping for breath. At that time, what you require is only breath to survive. That should be the intensity of our demand, our desire for liberation. None of this we have. None of them. We imagine many things. We think we are a devotee. We think we are a bhakta. We think we are intelligent. Many people. Almost all we should say. But anyway, giving a benefit of doubt that you are a very interesting person. Think. All of us have got all of these negativities. We have no Shama, we have no Dhamma, no Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana. No, none of the four. Viveka, Vairagya, Samadhi, Sangha. When we don't have anything, how can we expect Ananda to come? How can we expect that bhakti to come into the true bhakti, the true devotion? Now we have got imagined bhakti, imagined devotion. With due respects, please. Think. We have never thought about it and we don't want to think. Why? We are busy. Think. Where are we busy? To acquire, to possess, to indulge, to embrace, to enjoy all the petty pleasures, things and beings of life. Think. If I want mukti from all these kind of bondages, what I require is knowledge. Ramchandraji represents jnanam. And I must have bhakti towards Bhagavan and not the fanciful infatuation and all those things towards the Vishayas. As long as they are there, you cannot reach anywhere in the path of Bhagavan. We will see how important it is now. In the symbolism of Swayamvara, all these we will see. Everything we will discuss. Alright. Remember, we are talking from the standpoint of the sadhaka. Look at the kings who are there. All the kings who have come, they have come with passion. Think. Desperation. Friction between themselves. frustration because they could not lift the bow, fatigue, everything is there. There was no sense of control in the mind. Think, we will see in the next chaupai. Next chaupai will also give you an idea of what is all this we are talking about, the symbolism of Swayamvara. Now see, while the kings had no Sanyama meaning what? Self-restraint. They had no Guru Bhakti. They did not go and do Namaskaram to Vishwamitraji or Shatananji. They came with all their ego. Think, and I have to marry Sita. No Sanyama, no Guru Bhakti, no Shamadama, nothing. None of the kings had all of them. Now, there is a very beautiful mantra in Kathopanishad I would like to give you. Navirato duscharitat nashanto nasamahitaha nashanta manaso vapi prajnanena enam apnuyat. Then there is one word in between, na. Prajnanena na apnuyat. Now look, the last word is a very interesting thing, very consciously I will have to understand. Prajnanena enam na apnuyat. Through knowledge, this ananda cannot be gained. Swamiji, you seem to have got confused. No. Through knowledge, this supreme ananda is not possible for whom? Kathopanishad says, Navirataha. That means what? Na, the one who has no avirataha. Avirataha means no restraint. The one who is turned away towards the Vishaya Sakti, who has no need for Paramananda. Such people who have no restraint, mean who want to enjoy everything. Everything they want to enjoy. Such people, even though knowledge is given, now please be attentive, for people who have no self-restraint, even though knowledge is given, will not be able to understand it properly. Why? They are busy. Think. Duscharitat, those people who have got bad conduct, lot of wickedness, lot of cunningness, lot of planning, lot of scheming. How can I achieve this? How can I gain this? How can I acquire this? And people who have got very bad conduct outside in the world. Why? Because of ego. Duscharitat na ashantaha. Those people who are, disturbed, who cannot be pacified. Ashantaha, people who are not at peace. Na asamahitaha. Samahitaha means concentrated, well controlled. Asamahitaha, the one who are not concentrated, who are highly distracted. Asamahitaha na. So such distracted people, even though knowledge is given, will not be able to understand the knowledge because they were never available for the reception of knowledge, receiving the knowledge. They are so busy acquiring, possessing, indulging, embracing, enjoying all the Vishayas of the world. When the knowledge is given, they are not available. How many times we have discussed this? In a Vedanta class, when the teacher is talking so beautifully about the Vedanta Shastra, about all this, how many of us were sitting and actually listening? Now what to talk of YouTube channel classes? Think. In Pratyaksha, when people were sitting in front, there were people who would like to take the mobile and check if there are any WhatsApp messages. Think. Knowledge is being given. Even though knowledge is given, One is unable to take the knowledge. Why? Because he is not available. He is completely astray. His mind is totally distracted. Na samahitaha, na ashanta manasaha. The one whose mind, manasa, mind is ashanta, full of disturbance. When the mind is in flux, you give the knowledge, then knowledge cannot bring the ananda. Therefore, prajnanena, through knowledge, enam na apnuyat. Now look at the difference. Knowledge alone can bring ananda, but the same knowledge, when it is given to apatra, apatra meaning what? The one who has not yet come to deserve that ananda. Such a person can never become happy. Who is that person? Please note all these aspects of a sadhaka. None of the kings had. When none of them had these aspects of a sadhaka, where is the question of Ramchandraji, Jnana Swarupa coming towards them? Where is the question of Bhakti, Sitaji coming towards them? Therefore, one who has not turned away from his bad conduct, one whose senses are not subdued, the one whose mind is not concentrated, disturbed, can never gain the knowledge of Atman, can never gain the experience of Anandam. Rama Ananda Swarupaha, Jnana Swarupaha. Sitaji Bhakti Swarupaha. Think. And Shanti Swarupaha. Therefore, Anandam and Bhakti, Jnanam and Bhakti, Anandam and Shanti, they alone can come together. Therefore, Rama and Sitaji alone have to come together. Nobody else can gain Sitaji. Think. There are more beautiful points we will discuss tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.